Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 27 of the Big Apple Battle, a New York baseball podcast. And Ed, it is a great, beautiful Saturday here in New York. I mean, it's deceiving. The sun's out. It's shining bright. It's still kind of a little cold, but we're getting there. Almost springtime. The World Baseball Classic is really in full gear. And our team, USA, man, going to play Dominican Sunday night, 8 p.m. prime time. That is going to be must-watch TV. I'm pumped.
Whoa,
I don't
whoa,
know about
whoa,
you.
whoa, 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 yeah, baby. Let's go. World Series type action in middle of March.
Thank you,
I'm all
Italy.
about it. Dude, those guys are something else, eh?
Mm.
Like they've been some fun to watch, led by our boy Jorge Posada and Francisco Cervelli. What more could you ask for? Team
Dude,
Italia.
they're all so fucking good looking, too. Like that whole team, man. I mean,
Listen, keep your jaw, close your jaw a little bit. You don't have to keep it agape so
hey,
much.
I
You
am
know what I'm
very
saying?
much a proud well, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Proud enjoyer of Italian men. Yes, I
No.
don't blame you.
You
There's
know
a
me,
certain
I am a
style and swag.
very much comfortable. I don't know where I'm going with it. We're not cutting it. We're leaving it in nowadays. That's what we're doing 2026. We don't cut
Very
shit.
comfortable. We're handsome men. We can appreciate
I'm a
handsome men
comfortable
just
straight
the same.
man. That's just
Yeah.
fucking douche. I don't know. But I like the team. Jack Caglione is a beast. Vinny, our boy, kills it.
Yep.
It's a
And
good
dude, I
squad.
want to know how our boy Sally's watching. Has Sal been paying any attention? Have you caught up with him at all over
He's
the
all
last few
golf. He's
weeks?
always golf, all
Oh my
golf. And if I
goodness.
ask him, he will have no idea what's going on. If I have it, I mean,
Oh,
hey, I don't want to make assumptions. Maybe he's dialed in. Maybe he's got the shirt and the jersey going, the flag
uh,
outside. You never know.
God, he's letting his team down, his paisans down. Ron Marinaccio bringing back some
Oh
Yankee
yes, I
lore
forgot
here.
about him.
Ron Marinara. Yeah, there's a lot to be excited about for Team Italy, man. I've got to say they were definitely the thing that's gotten me the most jazzed about this particular edition, just because they came out of nowhere and they're doing what they're doing.
That's a beautiful thing about the World Baseball Classic, right? Like the Olympics, same idea. But a lot of times in the Olympics, I feel like you know what you're going to get most of the time, like what countries are powerhouses, who has what talent. And the World
Right.
Baseball Classic, yes, obviously, U.S., Dominican, Venezuela, all these teams got their talent, got their squads.
Hmm.
Puerto Rico, obviously, they a little weaker this year with, all that nonsense with the insurance, et cetera. But I
Yeah.
will say it is kind of a crapshoot. That's just baseball in general. That's why we love the sport, even in the season, right? We always say these sleeper teams, these sleeper picks that squeak into the playoffs or make a run at the end of the year. And that's why the sport is beautiful. It's not a guarantee of who's going to be there at the end, like I kind of see in other sports, right? NBA and NFL. And, kudos to the NFL. I guess it is evolving a bit. It's not the same old, but whatever. We're not here to talk NFL. It's baseball
Yeah.
season, baby.
Exactly. Our time, baby. Get out of here.
I
You
don't give
enjoy
a
your summer
shit.
off. Exactly.
Um,
Exactly. But a little bit of espresso to wake us up. Team Italia got to be
Funny,
liking what they're doing. Of
honestly hilarious. That's like how everyone has their home run celebrations, whatever. That is by far
course.
the best. Yeah, I got. Well, this is iced coffee year round, but I do love a good espresso, good nice hot espresso. And my buddy for the men's league team, he's like, "So who's bringing the espresso machine this year?" I'm like, "No one's gonna drink it. We don't hit home runs."
You can do it for a double. That counts.
Mm-hmm.
Any extra base hits, people will like that. RBI. RBI.
Ooh,
Right? There you go.
RBIs. I'd be tweaking a little bit. We got a
That's
few
a
under
good
our
one.
belt. Yeah, we got a
Yeah,
few
it might be a
espressos in me.
problem. That then the second, third at bat, whoever's having a good game out there, just gonna be like this with the bat,
Six RBIs. You're just freaking
buzzing.
shaking at first base. You're in the field. You're running the bases. You're not even. You're
Yeah,
fucking.
you're quite literally levitating the whole way around.
So someone on the other team rounds first base. I start running with them.
Come on. Hey, yeah, that was a great hit. Great job. Great job.
I'm like their
Uh,
coach.
bet I can do it faster than you. Bet I can beat you.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
I would
that'd
love
be
that
fun.
though. But
But what you got to do is make sure you cool off the espresso before you serve it. Apparently, they were serving it straight and they were just burning each other's mouths with it.
saw
So,
that.
yeah, you got to let it cool down. Have one prepared.
Yeah, it defeats the purpose. It's supposed to be a nice, comfortable. Like I love a good espresso, just the feeling of it, the vibe. But if it's gonna burn your fucking mouth off, it
And
defeats
the
the
throat all the way
purpose and the
down. You're just,
concept. Yeah.
hey, that's why
Um.
they're so jacked up right now.
Yeah. Nonetheless, I'm happy that they carried us and beat up on Mexico because now we get to see U.S. versus the Dominican,
Dominicana,
which is literally Platino power. It is literally must
dream
watch
come
again.
true.
Like that
Yeah.
squad of Juan Soto versus Aaron Judge again. Like I mean,
Yeah, forgot about that. Your guy versus our guy.
that's
That's
what I'm saying.
pretty
You always got
crazy.
that,
Yeah.
right? You always
And
get a little bit
Austin
of
and Austin Wells with the 3-run
shout
walk-off
out, bro.
bomb last night. A seamless fit into that clubhouse. People love him. So kind of fun to watch,
Who
big
did he hit?
Blanquito out there
Who
trying
did
to
he hit it
figure
off
out how
of
to fit
again?
in. Ah, you know what? That's pretty bad that I'm not paying attention close enough.
It
Oh, well, it
wasn't.
was it was a Korean
It
pitcher.
was a Korean team, right?
Yeah, it was Korea yesterday. Hyunjin Ryu started the game, but I don't know who finished
Holy
it.
shit! I forgot about Hyunjin
I
Ryu.
know. Crazy, right?
He
It
was
was
nasty for a little bit.
He was. He never walks anybody. Apparently, he walked only 23 batters in Korea last season in a full season of starts. So, you that kind of control. But
I wish I
anyway,
could take his. I could take his control and mental state on the mound with me. That's crazy.
yeah, that would be nice. Except, and hey, lefty with a pulse, but also did not really translate into anything good for the team. So,
Yeah, it's true.
tough,
Maybe you don't want.
tough go,
Yeah.
tough go.
But all World Baseball Classic is obviously top of mind in forefront. It's exciting, but literally 2 weeks from today, I will be at Citi Field consuming Mets Pirates game
Oh
two
man.
of the 2026 season, meaning our baseball season ed starts literally less than 2 weeks. So we are all over
Crazy.
the WBC, but obviously we got to really tune in now to our squads. And this is when you kind of see people already being sent down and being allocated to, the AAA staff or AA or whatever. Like, for example, right out of the gate. And just for everyone's preface here, this is impromptu episode. We are going the title simply what's going on. That's it.
Because we have no idea either.
We don't know. We've been consuming the World Baseball Classic like many of you have as well. Beating up on Canada last night. Mason Miller freaking throwing flamethrowers out there last night to strike
Oh
out the side
God.
was sick.
The
And
Grim Reaper is just a great term for him too. So that's
oh,
just
dude, I wish he was. I want that. I want him as a closer so bad. Like that's the guy you want. That reminds me of like an old school like what's his name from Major Leagues or Vaughn.
Ricky Vaughn.
Like that's a Ricky Vaughn man. I want that so bad.
Give him the heat, Ricky.
Yeah, I love that man.
Oh man,
Um,
yeah. He is, but he's controlled and like something cool, calm, and collected about him. He's just, and the way he walks in, like his shoulders are already just rounded in that way, where you're
he's a
like
big
big,
dude.
lumbering, lurching kind of guy. Yeah, it's a good, yeah. It'd be nice to have him.
And like with that fastball, a lot of times it's just fastball or bust with a lot of those guys, but he has a great compliment with his slider. Like it's slider or curve. I actually don't know what he has, but one of the two. Either way, it breaks like crazy and it's
Slider,
nasty.
yeah, yeah.
It's like an Edwin Diaz combo, but on
Yep.
steroids, I'd
They
say.
probably call it a sweeper at this juncture, but I am firmly of the belief that no such thing. It's all sliders.
Fucking sweeper, slurve, slider, curveball, screwball, pickleball, ice ball. Everything's a pitch now. Yeah, you ask these kids, man, they say the most random stuff. My nephew, he's asking me all these things. I'm like, how about you learn to just throw a strike first? Let's start there.
You
And I can't
roasted
talk because
that
I
little.
can't throw a strike.
I mean, that's why you gotta, pay it forward. If
Well,
you know
but
you can't do it, you can give him the same criticism.
yeah, and you're trying to teach right. Like at that age, man, it's like, I mean, come on. Like these kids are asking me, like all these kids are coming up to me. I'm just there. My brother's coaching nowadays, which is awesome. And I'm there watching, and they're like, oh, how do you throw a curveball? How do you throw a knuckleball? How do you throw a splitter or a slider or a forkball? I'm like, how about you want to see a two seam? You want to see a four seam?
You want to do what will actually get you to the majors?
Yeah,
Yeah, try that.
you
A
want to throw.
changeup?
I mean, yeah, look at some of the best two seam pitchers in the game. I mean, oh my God, am I going to botch this? Greg Maddux? Am I missed? Where's he
No,
change?
yeah, no, you got
That was
that.
a two seam
Absolutely.
master,
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
There's a
Yeah.
changeup guy. Who has the nastiest changeup? Oh my God, I'm mixing up so many
Oh
guys.
God, there's so many changeup people nowadays. Why
Well,
am I not?
Johan, circle change was nasty, first of all.
Obviously, anybody on the Tampa Bay Rays staff coming up for the last 15 years who just suddenly has the most unhittable changeup you could possibly imagine.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
absolutely. Like, and to go back to those basics, kids always want the flair. They want the excitement, whatever that thing is, whatever they can wear, the drip, the chains, right?
It's
Seeing
getting crazy, though.
Max Clark, the Tigers prospect in the outfield, who's never even seen the majors, has 10 chains on and can't make a play in left field. Are you weighed down by the chains? Or are you too worried about
I do
looking
like
good
him,
and
though.
not
I always
playing good?
did. I don't know
No,
why.
of course, I'm not hating on him, but it's like there's a point where it does feel like we gave in too much to the children of the game, right? And it is a kid's game, but like learn how to do the job first. Like your coaching
Yes.
should be you don't need the equipment, right? You need the ability. The equipment comes afterwards. You want to get cool gear, great, but like just figure out how to play the fundamentals of the game first, and then we'll figure out the rest.
No, you make a
It's
good
almost
point.
like kids always want that thing, right? With a shiny new thing. But yeah,
We really gotten away from it. And this is great. Again, this is just what this episode's about, random baseball nonsense, which is what we
hell
love to
yeah.
do here. And yeah, it's interesting because like everyone's talking about the sliding mitts and the to your point, the change, what glasses to get, what cleats. And like obviously baseball is a sport where you want to look good, play a good situation. It's always been a little bit of a style game.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, when I'm
How you wear
playing,
your pants though. Like, you know what I mean? Like literally
yeah,
how you wear your pants was the flair for a long time.
yeah. And I can't knock on that because I told you I got him tapered for the men's league. You gotta get him nice and fit, like my boy Lindor over there. You gotta stay crisp, play again, look good, play good situation.
Of
But
course.
for the kids, right? Like I'm washed up. I'm just playing men's league. Like for these kids who are trying to learn, play through high school, maybe college, you never know. To get there, it is starting with the fundamentals and the basics again. And like a lot of these parents I'm seeing are just giving them the chains and the glasses, and that's cool. Like make your kid happy, but also still teach them how to play the game the right way. And I'm watching these kids out there, and they're just like fixing all their fucking accessories in the field, and the ball's going by them. Like this is this is ugly. And I'm yelling at my nephew. I'm like, put your hat on straight. Let's go.
But also, right, exactly. Or it gets in the way of even being like good teammates, right? You know, when someone has like the new thing and they show it off, it's like being in school and those kids got like the new cell phone or the new shoes or the new whatever. And you always felt like that creates a separator, especially on a team dynamic. So, like, from being a kid, it's almost like go back to wearing those silly ass jerseys that said, whatever Big Johnny's Pizza Shop, on the back,
Yes.
because like they're kind of corny and that, but that is what Little League is. And
Dude,
like we have,
we used to wear t-shirts, yellow and
yeah,
green and red. Those were
right?
sick. Yeah.
And they were like the basic versions of whatever the team is, or like hopefully you had a major league team associated with it. But if not, you were just like the red team of the All Yonkers Youth Association, like whatever it might be. My point being, sometimes you just got to break it down to sort of like we're all part of one team. This is it, military style, right? I hate to say that, but like, hey, shave your head. You're all part of a team. Do the job.
It's
Like
uniform. It's
it is
uniform. Hence the
uniform,
name, right? Like it's all
quite
uniform.
literally.
And
True.
even in again, in not to bring it back to this always, but in the men's league, right? Like they sent us an email this year, like we don't want people mismatching socks, hats. Like we want because they're a very established organization and league, which I am happy to find that. I was looking for something serious like that. And
Totally.
I love that about it. So you'll be fined if you're wearing different socks or shirts or like your team's got to match, you got to be cohesive. I'm like, hell yeah. That's what it's about.
Absolutely.
It's uniform, it's clean, it's crisp, it's baseball.
You're playing for the team. You're playing for the uniform. You're not playing. And again, the Jerry Seinfeld bit is like, oh, you're just rooting for the laundry. Well, yeah, you are rooting for the laundry. You're rooting for the team that wears that uniform year in, year out. Of course, that's what you're rooting for. And yeah, if you fit the part, look the part, you're going to play well. And that goes back to the Cervelli and Italy thing. I just want to make a quick comment.
Please.
Cervelli is talking about how he's making his players wear suits and ties between games on road trips, whatever, and kind of like something he learned from Joe Torre. And it is this like old school, like, oh my God, we're beyond that. We don't need to do these things that way anymore. But I also kind of feel like, in a way, the focus is all on baseball if that's how you're going to do it. You're not worried about your drip, your fit, whatever it is you're showing off
Yeah.
walking to the ballpark. You're just worried about going to play the game. And like, again, put you in the headspace to do it. It's why the Yankee beard thing existed for as long as it did. Now I kind of see that in a way that I couldn't as a younger person. And it's just, yeah, fascinating to see how that team is performing as a result of it. Because again, we're all about being here together, doing this thing. The rest of it doesn't matter.
Well, it's interesting you say that too, because like high school varsity baseball, we were wearing like ties and button downs from what I remember. Like even then, like you're
Oh,
still
yeah.
dressing up and looking nice before your game. Or maybe it was actually middle school basketball, whatever it was a team sport.
I believe
And
it
that's
though.
even
Probably further
crazier.
back you go, the more likely you were probably doing that. Because over the last 10, 15, 20 years, it's been a slow decline. And we don't have to do that. Like, guys, be comfortable on the road. Like, do what you want to do. You know
Yeah, it
what I
was
mean?
crazy. Oh, baseball, I think we were just wearing sweatshirts actually. So I think it was the younger we were, and then as you got older, again, it was like the leniency and the whatever. Unless it was maybe a tournament game or something. I don't even remember, but all blur nowadays. Everything blends together, as you know. But I just know I
This is how you
played
know we're old men talking get off my lawn. So be you kids, but have some fun with it. It's just sort of nice to see the focus be on the sport.
100%. Like that's the beauty of the game. Like have fun. Like at the end of the
Yeah.
day, this is the best sport in the world. You could fight me on it. You could fight us on it any day of the week. We're gonna defend it to the day we die. We love this game so much. And with that being said, we don't have too much time today for the fans, but I do want to touch on a few points. The season again, 2 weeks away, which is pretty crazy. I do want to touch on a few things because obviously, as we get to this point of spring training, people are kind of establishing themselves, being sent down, being kind of put where they're going to be. You kind of know who's on the roster. We're getting to that point, which is crazy. It's kind of
Yeah.
flown by. So I figured
Early
we touch.
starts are nice, but like my God, man, this just feels like I'm not even close to prepared.
It's really because of the WBC. I'm not to blame it, but it's really all true baseball fans, in my opinion, are fully invested in this. How could you not be?
Right.
So it makes sense, but like I'm still trying to keep tabs, obviously, on our squads and do our jobs here. But with that being said, I mean, we just throw a couple points, anything at the top of mind for the squad that you're thinking that the fans should know or hear an opinion on. So my first one I had to throw out right out of the gate,
Mhm.
Francisco Lindor, El Capitan. Well,
What about him, El Capitan? Get
with an
out of here with
asterisk,
that.
we're not doing captains
Yeah,
again, but he is
yeah.
my captain. And actually, I was going to say it before we jumped on, but
There's
I
only
say that,
one El Capitan in this town, all right,
yeah,
sir.
David Wright. Yeah, so I did save it
Right is wrong.
for this episode. I was gonna say, like, how his bench around the jersey to buy, whether Boba Shed, this guy or that guy. You know what? I
Just
saw
don't.
it. I saw Lindor in the batting, well, or don't, but I saw Lindor in the batting box again yesterday. It reminded me, like, that's the guy, that's the captain, that's he's the Met now, he's the face of this team now. Like, I just love Lindor, man. He's just such a good dude, and I think obviously a generational player, super underrated still, in my opinion, that people overlook like what he's done. Um, I think what he's missing is that World Series win, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what we got to put under our belt for him. But I will say, beautiful to see him in the batter's box yesterday. He's progressing well after the handmade bone surgery. He's going to be playing in minor league games with optimism to join the opening day roster. And it was kind of a twofold situation. He was taking BP against AJ Minter, who's also ramping up after that lat injury early last season. And he threw live BP to Lindor and actually looked pretty nasty. And it was kind of cool to watch them. Lindor was like yelling, chirping to him, like, just kind of acknowledging the pitches and how nasty they were and just kind of laughing, having a good time. And you love to see that. So
There
I
you go.
excited for that. I think that's the biggest news right now at a camp. Is obviously Minter coming back for the back end of the bullpen, which we know is a piece that we're not missing, but just a great addition as alongside Devin Williams, Luke Weaver, Brooks Raley, and that whole crew we got back there right now.
Don't lie, you've missed him since the day he went down last season.
I did because
It's never the same.
he's underrated too, and he started looking. He was great out of the gate.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. He was exactly what you had hoped for. So, yeah, you got to be excited about having that potential back.
and he was throwing pretty hard. And speaking of velocity, Ed, speaking of velocity, guess who's touching 99 on the gun? It looks like his old self from his rookie season here in
The
the States. If you
the
had to guess,
Velociraptor. The Velociraptor.
who?
I don't know. Kodai Senga?
Yeah, is that who's
No, I
coining that
you
term? I
said
like it.
you said velocity, so I was just
The
like
Velociraptor.
Velociraptor.
Yeah, man. Sanga looked stellar in recent spring outings. Yesterday, I think he struck out 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay,
And he
there
looks
we go.
healthy. He says he feels good. He looks good. He looks like he's shaping up to come back to form from 2023. And bro, seeing him dial up to 98, 99 with his nasty ghost fork mixed in there,
Hmm.
like everyone forgets. Right now, he's slotted in like a 4 or 5 or even 6 in our rotation. Like again, him and Mania were saying the X factor. These are guys you got to watch, right? And that could be a variable that changes your starting rotation from top 15 league to top 5.
Totally. Yeah,
So
100%, dude. That's he is an X factor and has been for you the last 3 seasons, right? And it's almost like crazy to say how do the hopes of your team hinge on this one guy? But it does feel like if Senga goes, you guys go, which is not normal for again, your number three starter in a
right,
rotation. But hey, it could be a vibes thing too. Like he seems like a great clubhouse dude.
he does.
And you know, when there are guys who are performing and they're actually outplaying, they maybe are more useful to the team than they are just sitting around. I don't know. Like mentalities always shift, right? Based on, again, you see this guy, he's usually in good shape. He's always in good spirits, but now he's hurt and maybe he's just not quite the person that he usually is. So that's, again, sometimes simple things as simple as that can have ripple effects on your team, on your pitching staff and your motivation, your positivity, lack of a better term, right?
100%. There's a halo effect there. And also, I think a lot of it does come down to the fact that there wasn't maybe a lot of support when he went down in previous years, where now you bring in these extra, big guns, right? You have a Freddie Peralta, a proven ace of your rotation. You have now Nolan McLean, who came out of nowhere. I know he didn't look great in the world in WBC. Everyone's already talking shit about him now, just because he's a Met, obviously.
Oh, I don't
He
want to interrupt, but I have to say some stuff about that. I have a keeper league, a fantasy keeper league, which I'm usually very bad in. And this year, because I took over I'm not going to make excuses. I'm not great at it. But the point is, I drafted McLean with my first overall because he was the best prospect available. And again, when you have a keeper, you can use him in and out, put him to the minors, bring him to the majors. He's a versatile piece as a pitcher that you don't have to pay a lot of money for in the draft. Point being, he goes and lays an egg and bit of a stinker in that game immediately after I make that draft pick. So
Yeah, but
just
that's not
want you
even
to
this.
know I made this choice and I had faith in your guy, and this is what happens.
Yeah,
I
but he'll
know.
shake.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
he'll shake those kinks off. Dude,
Gotta
he
talk
is.
a little shit.
I appreciate that. I get it. I respect it. He has some stuff. But also, by the way, all my Yankee fan friends were talking shit. And like, yeah, Ryan Yarbrough didn't look too good either coming
No,
in.
I know. That was the right after the fact. He
So I mean, what
comes
are
in
we
and
talking about
fills
here?
it up.
And then yeah,
Listen, no one expects Ryan Yarbrough to be
there
anything
it is.
but
That's
what
what everyone
Ryan
was saying.
Yarbrough
Oh,
is.
he's not a number
Exactly.
two in the rotation. He's a number four in our rotation. I'm like, cool. Like McLean could be a 2 or a
He
4.
shouldn't be in the rotation. He
Well,
should be a
that's
long
fair.
relief guy at best.
That is fair. But
But
McLean,
I
like,
feel
yeah,
you.
he's penciled in as a 2, but he doesn't necessarily have to be your 2. That's the beauty of the rotation. It could be a Sanga, could be a David Peterson. Depends how people pitch. Clay Holmes looks great. Like
Yeah.
all the no, no, he's not number 2, but he still looks great. He could be
Taken
a
off the WBC roster, by the way, because they didn't like how he was being deployed. So he's now back in Mets camp.
respect that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mendoza wanted him back, needed him back, got him ramped up and ready to go, and he looks fucking good. And he looked good
Yeah.
yesterday too, alongside Sanga. And then the other X factor, and I'll pass it your way, Shawmania. Him and Sang are the two biggest X factors in the rotation. I'm not worried about Holmes. Peterson, I'm not worried about whether he has a good first half, bad second half. I think Peterson, you know what you're going to get. Mid three, low four ERA, consistent guy, eats innings, good stuff, clutch. I like him. Clay Holmes, you kind of see what you're going to get with him. You know what you're getting with Freddie Peralta. McLean, to be determined. But again, you look at his first, what, five or, I forgot what the count was, 5 or 10 starts. I don't think he's even had 10 starts.
No, I think it was like 8.
Yeah, versus Paul Skeens' first eight. I know it's a small sample size, but I think the numbers were the same or if not better. So it's always a good sign out of the gate, obviously. So whatever
Yeah.
hiccup in the WBC, I'm not looking at that at all. Like I don't care what people are saying. Like, come on, let's get the real season going and see.
And I think honestly, they underestimated that opponent. Truthfully, like everything you've looked back at with DeRosa's comments and how they thought they had already moved on, like I think they put out their B lineup and necessarily weren't in the headspace to be
If
at
DeRosa
their
dropped the
best.
ball on that, and he got lucky that he got what's the word? He got saved by Team Italy.
Yeah, they got bailed out, which
Bailed out, yeah.
I don't know how they would have talked their way out of that one. Anyway, but McLean, yeah, I'm sure he will be fine. He's the number 6 overall prospect in the game still, which is kind of crazy to think about because he now feels like an established entity already.
Which is that's a
Um,
scary part because sometimes it's a lot of pressure. But he seems like he's got a cool head on his shoulders, very casual, simple man. Like reminds me of like a DeGrom demeanor, honestly. Just a very
yeah,
chill, fucking like dude goes out, does his business, doesn't get too high or too low. And that's what you want. And last thing I'll say, because I want to obviously hear Yankee stuff here, is the last piece. Again, I'm stuck in the rotation. There's a lot of X factors. Sean Manaea, his velocity is very low, doesn't look great. He
a lot of
acknowledged
worry
that.
out there. Yeah, a lot
He
of Mets fans are
acknowledged it,
scared.
but he never threw that hard to begin with. Like give 92, 93 with some, with this funky delivery and his like slider and sweeper, whatever you want to call it, mixed in there with a nice changeup. Like he's still a solid lefty. Again, he could also be a 2 or a 5 or a 6. I mean, depends if we deploy a 6 man. That's a whole other conversation. People are saying, why the fuck are we still deploying a 6 man? That was for Sang when he first came here. Why does he still need that? Like, let's get back to a 5, which I also agree with.
Yeah.
Um,
But if you
yeah.
also have the personnel and you can keep your arms fresher, not
Oh,
a
yeah.
bad thing.
Like Jonah
Yeah.
Tong, they did just send him back to down in AAA. It's already been acknowledged he's going to start the season there, which I'm okay with. Let him get his work, let him
Hmm.
figure it out. But he also sleeper, him and Christian Scott, two guys who could also be a middle rotation. And if not, you never know. There's a major upside. You never know. A middle to high end of a rotation one day.
Yeah,
There's still
you
a
don't
lot.
want to
Yeah.
you don't want to rely on all these guys to start, honestly. It's better to not have to rely on all these guys right now.
You want the depth. You want the depth. So I'll pass it your way. Just quick shout out to Carson Bench, who I think is going to win the starting right fielder job. He is going nuts in spring trainings in 370, and he looks absolutely insane. You don't like him?
I had a chance to draft him with my second
Dude,
keeper
he's
pick.
nasty.
My problem was I have too many Mets now. I forgot Semien is on my roster for my keeper, so like another Met. I have Sean Manaea, who I bet big on after he had a good year, and now I don't want him in my rotation, but I can't afford to cut bait. Anyway, point is, Benj was an option. I went with Carter Jensen from the Royals because I needed a catcher prospect type. But again, Benj is, yeah, he was hard to pass up on.
Dude, he looks great. 10 for 27, 5 ribbies, hitting 370 in spring. And then, you know, it's interesting. He'll be the starting right fielder, but Tyrone Taylor, bro, is not 7 for 22, hitting 318, and he has OPS over 1,000 with the most RBIs on the team, a 7 in spring with 2 home runs. So Tyrone,
Luis
obviously,
Robert, who? Yeah, who needs Luis Robert?
well, yeah, that's the thing. Like Tyrone's gonna make. I think Tyrone and Benj will be. It'll be Benj, Robert, and Soto with Tyrone on the bench, kind of what the way you draw it up, right? Unless Benj was gonna flop and not look like what he looks like, but he looks like he's earning that spot, which is sick because you love a young prospect in the lineup. It gets everyone fucking going, gets everyone hyped. So, Ed,
Absolutely.
that's our spiel. What do we got? What is up with the Yankees?
Happy for you, dude. Very exciting times. I will try to keep this as quick as you did. And I'm going to go with the batting to start because there's a couple of storylines there that I think are interesting. Jason Dominguez, how can you not lead off with his performance so far? He's been the guy that I think was initially pegged to be sent down. He's making a real run for it, making it very difficult decision for Aaron Boone and company. Granted, he's not walking like you'd like to see him walk. He is striking out entirely too much, but he is producing. He's got 3 home runs and 2 doubles already with a 333 batting average. He's 11 hits in that time, so obviously 11 for 33. Total bases 22. Again, 10 strikeouts, one walk, two stolen bases. The slug is at 667. OPS is over 1,000. It's what you want to see out of a Jason Dominguez,
10
right? They've
strikeouts
waited.
in spring is a lot, though.
It's a lot, and that's where I wonder if he's sacrificing too much of, again, the idea that let me show with power what I can do, and maybe swinging too much out of his shoes, which further proves he needs more seasoning. I do just like to see that he is producing at least in the power department because the guy is an athletic freak. It's just nice to see when those numbers translate. But again, if you want to cut down on strikeouts and we already have a logjam, Jason Dominguez is just going to be a really interesting piece to look forward to. Maybe coming back up pretty quickly or even breaking camp with us, depending on how things shake out. Spencer Jones has been sent down already, which is interesting because he has fewer strikeouts than our boy Dominguez, same batting average, a crazy on base at 430, right? So you're liking those numbers as they're coming up. He's stolen more bases, so he's proving to be more athletic than I think people would think for his size.
He's
Um,
fast. Yeah, I didn't know he could even steal a
right?
bag like
I
that.
don't know if it's like a Soto situation where
I
it's
thought he was
like,
like an Adam LaRoche type.
I mean,
Shout out Adam LaRoche.
look how lanky he is. He kind of does look like that. Yeah, he looks way less athletically gifted than Judge even for his size. So, but again, you think of Juan Soto stealing 38 bases last year. Maybe it's one of those somebody knows when he should go. No one's expecting him to go. Again, spring training, who knows what that is. But again, a 917 slug with a 1300 OPS. It's hard to ignore what Spencer Jones has
Mm.
done. And again, we're going to have to because it's already been decided he's going down. And another
Wait,
guy on the
sorry,
hitting.
real quick before
Oh,
we move
go
off
for
of
it.
Spencer
Yeah, yeah,
Jones, the 30-second note I want to make. I feel like this
please.
guy destroys spring training every season and he's sent down every season. How old is he now? Like, is he still young?
I
Like,
think he's only like 22.
all right, so he's
If I'm
kind of
not, yeah. I
babysitting him a little bit.
I think they're giving him the judge treatment because why not?
Yeah,
24. Okay, so no, it's getting
it's
there
time.
close.
I mean, give him another, at least maybe another half season down there. And maybe he'll come up this year, but
Yeah, no, you're right. And it is sort of like, again, you have experience with Judge. It worked out last time. Judge wasn't 25, 20. He was 24 when he made his debut. So a little delayed. My guess is Jones gets a chance this year, if not next, especially when Trent Grisham has the qualifying offer, right?
true.
You don't expect Trent to come back next year. Um, Ideally, you have the option for a Trent Grisham, but you can't necessarily pay him 22 million to hit what he hits. Um, and you can't expect 34 home runs from him every time.
Yeah.
So elite defense, great, but we got Cody Bellinger, who's done a really nice job. So if things change, Spencer Jones maybe takes left field. Maybe he's a good center fielder and Cody Bellinger plays the harder left field, whatever it might be.
Mhm.
They're set up in a good way. And that kind of leads me to Ryan McMahon, who I talked about last week, changing his stance a little bit, having a little more Bryce Harper approach to his stance. And it had worked out for the first, couple games. Since then, he's not done much. He's batted a collective 107 within his 28 at bats. He has no home runs. He has three doubles, so that's okay. A couple RBIs, but eight strikeouts. So again, big strikeout problems, which is what we always worry about with this Yankee team. His OPS is a paltry 381, and his on base is
Jeez.
167. So he's not showing, quite literally showing nothing for you at the offensive side of the ball.
I
But
don't
again,
worry too much about that yet. That's the thing about spring. Like, same as Simeon and Boba they're both hitting like almost sub 200. And like, I don't worry about that unless it translates into the early part of the season. Because a lot of times they are trying new things, working out kinks, trying to take a different approach to the plate, mess with their stance, whatever it may be. And
totally.
McMahon, the only thing you worry about McMahon is coming from Colorado. I know he obviously had what half the season with the Yankees or close to,
Right.
or was half season, right? It was a deadline
Yeah,
type
deadline deal.
of.
Yep. Yep.
So not a half season, but a lot of season. And I guess
Close.
close. The translation for a full season might actually you might feel it more now. But again, like yeah, you play in Colorado, but now you're playing a smaller Yankee Stadium anyway, so it should translate just fine.
And that's what I want. I think that a full season under his belt will do wonders. And I was just hoping for a little bit more of a spark to start so you get a little more excited and say, no, this guy does have more to offer with the stick. Because you do. Defensively, I'm taking him every day. He's unbelievable. And I do
Yeah.
think that's a big part of what we were missing last year because you can sacrifice the bat for elite third base, defense. So that said, I don't want the left field, short porch or right field short porch to entice him too much and ruin his swing otherwise as well, right? You
Mm.
don't want to go overly power or loopy swing if you can help it, if you can go more line to line. So you're right. Work out the kinks. You got some time. And again, I think he's kind of keeping that seat warm for George Lombard Jr. anyway. who's also not performing all that well in spring at this moment. So we got time to worry about George Lombard Jr. We're not going to even get into him, but we've already seen the flashes of greatness he can provide. Other, good performances. Max Schumann continues to impress with the batting average, hitting 350. Maybe as a bench guy coming out there. Cody Bellinger's doing what Cody Bellinger does. So everything else is kind of as you'd expect. Spring training numbers, nothing to get too high or too low on. Paul Goldschmidt had a pretty good run before he went off to, Team USA, and he's had a few good at bats for Team
Yeah.
USA. So he'll be that piece that comes off the bench, and you'll be pretty happy with.
I was gonna say, do you want to say no? We're short on time. Do you want to just say like one? Since I know it's like under 2 weeks till
No, yeah, yeah.
opening day. One. What is the one thing that you, out of everything we just mentioned, or maybe we didn't mention, the one thing that you really are going to look out for over these next 2 weeks? Like what do you want to see, or who do you want to see maybe make the roster?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think over everything, you want to see them figure out the backup catcher situation. I think it's still going to be JC Escara. He's been playing pretty well. Wells is obviously performing well in the WBC. And your backup infield, right? It's really who your starters are going to be kind of all around the diamond. You're really just concerned with seeing who's going to be your bench pieces, right? Ahmed Rosario's there with Team Dominican Republic right now. Max Schumann, I just mentioned. Seth Brown, not looking like much of an option. So all those things, and then really your back end of the rotation, I guess, is the most thing we got to figure out and determine. I won't get too much into the weeds on everything, but guys that I've really loved the performances out of this year, Will Warren. People need to remember Will Warren is an incredibly strong five starter. He came in out of nowhere last year, pitched, had some tough goes of it, but still had a 4 something ERA, pitching every start. He's a bulldog. He can strike guys out. He's only getting more seasoning. He's going to be a nice piece. Luis Heel doing the same thing, striking out guys at an 11.9 Ks per nine clip. And then Ryan Weathers is a guy that you want to see performing better. He's got an 8.68 ERA right now. So not what you want to see from a guy coming over and has high potential, but yeah, I guess to narrow it down, what we need to do is figure out little bullpen pieces. Carlos Lagrange, right? People are talking about how he's not going to break camp with the team, but he looks like the perfect setup man. Still want to figure out those things, as David Bednar is clearly the closer. Camilo Doval probably the setup man, but you just know with a young, fiery guy like Lagrange who wants to be a starter, he could be a guy that comes into the fold halfway through the season as a big bullpen piece, as things generally don't go perfectly injury wise. But for now, we've had a healthy camp. I don't want to get too high or too low on anything. But again, what we need to look out for is bench pieces and our, again, 4 or 5 starter roles. Paul Blackburn's had a lot of run this preseason, spring training with a 1.46 ERA and 12.1 innings. So they saw something in Blackburn. I know you thought it was crazy that they even picked Paul Blackburn up, but
I
he's
did.
looking like a good swing guy right now for us. And again, Cashman and company kind of working their magic with finding undervalued pitching talent that can actually contribute. Jake Bird, another guy. So again, filling out that bullpen. Everybody else is looking good.
I
Cam
thought I was
Schlittler is
asking you
looking
for
great.
for
I'll
one
flat pass. I had
one thing to
nothing.
look
It was too
excited
much on
for.
the
You just gave
spot.
the whole
I'm
rundown.
excited because there's too many things. There's too many things. We got the back end of the pitching rotation and bullpen and infield.
Everything. So everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's just backup stuff. Backup stuff.
Hey, you're
We
just
got
excited.
everything
That's
else. Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'll get
No,
on to stuff. That was truncated for me. That was
no,
pretty
it's
good.
okay. I'll keep it very brief then, and I'll just give one thing that I'm excited for. It is also, I think, the offense is kind of set. Speaks for itself. I kind of spoke to it. Benj, I think, is going to win that job, and that's kind of the only piece that you're waiting on outside of bench guys. You know, you're starting nine, right? Like your situation there. The whole infield is basically set. Blanco looks pretty good too at first base. He's starting to figure it out, hitting for pop. So I'm excited for stabilizing the bullpen, and there's still a few pieces,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm excited about too. You didn't get
Yeah,
that
yeah, I
from all
know
our,
you
yeah,
are.
yeah.
I was
Just
talking
because
about
you had time to put this thought together doesn't mean
no,
I wasn't
no,
thinking
on
the
the
same thing.
fly. I the one the piece they're missing that bullpen. They had the long man Tobias Myers. He looks fucking amazing. 8 innings, 9 strikeouts, and 1 ERA. Like he's just fine. He looks like he's gonna be. He's underrated. Tobias Myers might be nasty.
It's gonna be the Tobias Myers trade, kind of like it was the Edwin Diaz trade.
Yeah,
We
and
thought it was the Cano trade, but it was the Edwin Diaz trade.
100%. And the starting rotation, I spoke to it. Like I'm comfortable with that. It is filling out the middle part of the bullpen. The back end's fine. Devin Williams looks good. Luke Weaver hasn't gotten that much work. He's just kind of working on the back mounds and stuff like that. So, um, I'm not worried about Luke Weaver. He'll get his work as we get closer, probably over the next 2 weeks, if I had to guess. And then, um, the middle, right? You have Brosman, who looks great and really happy with, but a guy like Carl Edwards Jr., who we talked about before, who obviously we know he was very solid with the Cubs for many years, 8 innings, 11 strikeouts, 2 ERA, under a one whip, .8. Like he looks solid. He looks like his old self, and he might make maybe
Slender
break
Man.
camp. Him and Craig Kimbrell probably fighting because Craig Kimbrell only 4 innings, but he's
Wow.
only given up one run. He's gotten a little bit of work. Um, so
That'd be
that'll be
wild.
interesting. It'll be very interesting to see, right, with those guys. And
I just want to see him in a Mets uniform for all the uniforms he's going to collect over the end of his career. You
well,
know, just like the different hats are going to be fun.
it's a good problem to have because even Luis Garcia, like all these guys look so good. It's a shame Robert Stock, and I touched on him briefly last week. I think he's going for surgery or he's gonna be on the 60-day DL. Nothing good happened
Oof.
there. Potential surgery. Yeah, he's probably done. But the one thing I will say is he probably won't make the roster or break camp, which is a shame. The guy we're talking about who eats all the eggs, Lambert,
Oh yeah, yeah.
that is our Mason Miller one day, ideally. That's what you want, right? The guy's throwing 101, 102, and he's pitched. I just pulling him up here. I had to see what he's done. He only pitched 3 innings, 8 strikeouts. So he basically struck out everyone. Like
See, the difference between him and Miller is Miller just eats whole chickens, you know, live whole
live chickens,
chickens.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
stock will eventually just eat live everything.
yeah.
I mean not stock,
Livestock.
Jesus,
I
Lambert.
was going to say livestock, but yeah, you're wrong guy.
But I'm not worried. Like there's depth, there's a lot of talent there, and that's what I'm excited to see. And obviously, the one key piece to look out for is Lindor gonna, start and be ready for opening day, and time will tell. I think he's on the right path. We already got in the box yesterday, so it's Lindor. He's not fucking missing opening day. Come on now.
There you go. We love that. Also on the injury front, Garrett Cole pitching 65 pitches, looking good. So his rehab is progressing as you'd hope. Big piece, obviously, to worry about coming back in time. When he can get back, he leads. He kind of sets the tone for everything.
Hmm,
So if we're
that's
talking
huge.
about big guys coming back from injury, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, that's what we're going to look at the next 2 weeks too. I think it's the injury bug because the starting again, we're in a good place, Mets and Yankees. I'm happy that we are. We're again, we're pretty set in terms of
Yeah.
26 man for the most part, outside of a few little pieces for the bench and backup and bullpen here and there, like we just chatted about. So Ed, I know we both got to run. We got busy days, beautiful Saturday. Hope everyone goes and enjoys their day. So that's going to be a wrap, and that's going to do it for episode 27 of the Big Apple Battle. We will see you next time, but let's go Team USA. I hope everyone tunes in Sunday night. But again, remember to listen, rate, subscribe, like, review, wherever you get your podcast. We got some cool content ideas rolling out for 2026. Me and Ed are going to be getting out to some games. We're going to get them on the calendar. I'm excited to be out at Citi Field. Ed, anything to add?
I have one question for you, my friend. Who has a
Please.
better game, Juan Soto or Aaron Judge on Sunday?
It's kind of crazy because I'm obviously rooting for Team USA, so this is a tough one. But that's why I love baseball because Juan Soto could go off and we could still win. Juan Soto will have a better game. USA wins 5-4. Close nail biter.
There we go. I love it. And David Bednar gets the save. Let's
Love it.
go.
BAB out, baby. Let's go.
Let's go, baseball.
Let's go, baseball.
This ball is crushed. Man, what a shot for